Okay, we are back. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Argentine Asado. Today, we're not going to be grilling. We're going to be doing a cocktail, and probably one of the most famous cocktails in Argentina, Fernet con Coca. Now, let me tell you guys, Fernet is a staple. It is a symbol in Argentina. It is like the bedrock of your average bar, your average asado, your average get-together, your community gathering. Fernet is probably the most drunk liquor in Argentina. And the Fernet con Coca, which is the traditional cocktail, is probably the most recognized beverage that is most recognized alcoholic beverage out there. So join me today and talk to you a little about Fernet, and then we're going to prepare one on this gorgeous summer afternoon where the sun is out and it is pretty warm. I don't know why I've got my hoodie on, but it's been pretty warm today, so I'm looking forward to trying the Fernet con Coca and sharing this with you. And we have our Fernet and Coke. We just went and bought some Coke because I also don't have a lot of Coke here at home because my wife, she doesn't like Coke. This is going to be the episode of a lifetime. We're going to do one of the best cocktails in Argentina, the Fernet con Coca. So we managed to buy ourselves a bottle of Fernet because I'd run out. And this is the Fernet Branca, which, as you saw in the story and history lesson, has the Fernet. This is the most traditional Fernet that you'll find in the average store, and probably the most enjoyed liquor here in Argentina after wine, because as you know, I like wine. Now, this here, which a friend gave to me, or I just went and picked up, which I had never actually tried this, is Buho Negro, which, as you can see there, Buho is the owl. So this here is a variant, so it's just like a competitor, you might say, to Fernet Branca, which is a traditional brand. And I understand this is pretty good quality, so we're going to do the comparison. I'm going to tell you which of the two I prefer and why I believe Fernet is a really unique tasting drink, a really unique tasting cocktail, and personally, in my opinion, why it took me so long to get used to it. But once I got used to it, when I went and hung out with friends and spent time with family at gatherings and that, I started to drink Fernet. Although it is definitely not my go-to cocktail, I really, really do enjoy it, and it hits all of the right notes. But as they often say, it is an acquired taste. So let's get into it, and let's have our first one, which is going to be the traditional Fernet Branca with Coke. So as a side note, I want to share something with you guys. I recently got this craft ice maker, and look at these really cool craft ice it produces. I think that is so cool. So I have got Coca Zero, which is, just Diet Coke. I sometimes use Coke Zero, but I'm using Diet Coke today. So let me talk to you about the proportions. And this is where things get very dicey. So I've got my Fernet right there. People around the world have different versions of this. Now, true Argentinians drink their Fernet between an 80-20 of Coca-Cola and Fernet and a 70-30. Now, I did like a 75-25 to kind of gauge the middle. So I'm going to tell you how this tastes, and I'm going to share with you exactly why I believe it is so gorgeous once you acquire that unique herby taste that Fernet has. Salud. Amigos, no hay como el Fernet con Coca. The body on this thing is wild. So, if I had to put it into a sentence, Like, what is the Fernet? Why is it so popular here? So first of all, it's a very strong alcohol. I think it is 40%. We're going to go and get the bottle now and check. So it has a very strong amount of alcohol. Obviously, it is very similar to vodka, very similar to gin. So mixing it with Coke makes a pretty long drink and at the same time is very effective. Now, I believe that Argentinians like extremes, and I don't know if they like extremes or they choose extremes, but their life has been, unfortunately, full of ups and downs. And as you know, Argentina has been a roller coaster of a country, a beautiful country, pretty much since its inception. So yeah, I think it is very unique. It is very herby. It's extremely sour in that sense, but at the same time, it has this earthy, woody, herby taste. It's not citric, not at all. It is deep herbs. So you're thinking thyme, oregano. I'm thinking like a eucalyptus tasting herbal tea, like really, really thick and intense, and at the same time broad and sweet because it has a high density of alcohol. It obviously has a lot of sugar. So in that sense, it's mind-boggling. The Fernet is mind-boggling. So here we're going to go for our third taste of the Fernet con Coca, the traditional Fernet Branca, which, as you saw in the story, is quite an interesting story. And I'm just going to share with you the two things that I feel make the Fernet also very, very unique over against any other liquor out there, and why I think Argentinians love it. So the combination of sourness, of complexity with sweetness is perfect for an asado because it cuts through the salty, fatty meat that you're eating. This really cuts through it. The second reason is Argentina has a very long and hot summer. This is extremely refreshing. I wouldn't say as refreshing as a gin and tonic maybe, or as a ice cold beer or an IPA, but it is extremely refreshing, and that uniquely sour, intrinsically herby taste with the Coke, the cold Coke with a lot of ice, perfecto.